The moment you stop reacting to everything, your life begins to change, not in some loud, dramatic way, not overnight, but quietly, deeply, powerfully, because most people lose their peace in seconds. One rude comment, one text left unseen, one bad day at work, one person who doesn't respect them, and suddenly their whole mind is on fire. But what if the real power in life isn't in what you say, but in what you refuse to give energy to? That's the art. And almost nobody talks about it the right way. Maybe you've felt this. You wake up already tired. Your mind is full before the day even starts. Someone says something small, and it stays in your head for hours. A tiny problem turns into a full night of overthinking. You replay the moment again and again. What they meant, what you should have said, why they acted like that. And the worst part? It steals your peace long after the moment is gone. A 5-second comment ruins a 5-hour day. Sometimes a whole week. That's how most people live, always reacting, always pulled by people, moods, news, stress, and emotions, like a puppet with invisible strings. If that feels like your life right now, you're not weak. You're just living the way most people were taught to live. React first, feel later, defend yourself, prove your point, win the moment. But here's the truth. Winning the moment often means losing your mind. Real strength is quieter than that. It's the ability to stay still when everything inside you wants to explode. It's being calm when someone expects anger. It's choosing silence when your ego begs for noise. And this is where things change. The people who seem the strongest in life are rarely the loudest. They're the ones who learned one simple thing. Not everything deserves a reaction. A man once came home after the worst day at work. His boss blamed him for a mistake he didn't make. His phone kept buzzing. Traffic was terrible. By the time he walked through the door, he was carrying the whole day like a storm inside his chest. Then his son spilled juice on the floor. Just a small accident. Nothing serious. But the man snapped. He shouted. The room went silent. His son's face dropped. And in that moment, the man realized something painful. He wasn't reacting to the juice. He was reacting to everything he never dealt with. This happens more than people admit. We think we're reacting to what's in front of us, but often we're reacting to old stress, old pain, old fear. That's why the first lesson in not reacting is this. Slow down before the emotion borrows your voice. Not every feeling deserves words. Not every thought deserves action. Sometimes the strongest move is to pause, take one breath, let the first wave pass. Because the first feeling is rarely the wisest one. It's usually fear, pride, hurt, ego. But if you wait, even for a few seconds, something powerful happens. You stop being controlled by the moment. You start choosing your response. That tiny gap changes everything. Most people don't realize this, but peace is often lost in the space between feeling and action. The smaller that space, the messier life becomes. The bigger that space, the wiser you become. Think about the last argument you had. Maybe it was with your partner, a friend, someone online. Maybe they said something unfair, and right away, your mind rushed to defend itself. You needed to explain, to prove, to attack back. But hours later, maybe even days later, you wished you had said less. That's because reacting gives short-term relief, but calm gives long-term power. A woman once got a harsh message from a coworker late at night. It was rude, unfair, and honestly disrespectful. Her hands were already typing an angry reply. She had the perfect words, sharp, smart, painful. But she stopped. She put the phone down, went to sleep, answered the next morning with a calm, clear message. No emotion, just truth. By morning, the other person had already apologized. If she had reacted that night, it would have become a bigger fight. Instead, her calm protected her. That's the second truth. Time destroys many reactions that feel urgent. What feels big right now often becomes small tomorrow. So why hand your peace to something temporary? And this doesn't only apply to anger, it applies to fear too. A lot of people react to life itself. One setback, and they panic. One rejection, and they doubt their worth. One failure, and they decide they're not good enough. But failure is just information. It's not identity. A young man applied for a job he really wanted. He prepared for days. He imagined how life would change if he got it. Then the rejection email came, and instantly his mind attacked him. You're behind? You're not smart enough? You always mess things up. But here's what changed his life. He didn't react to the rejection. He got curious instead. He asked what he could improve. He worked on those skills for 3 months. The next interview, he got hired somewhere even better. Same event, different reaction, different life. That's the hidden truth most people miss. Your life is shaped less by events and more by the meaning you attach to them. And that meaning is chosen in the reaction. This is why wise people protect their inner world. They know the outside world will always be noisy. People will misunderstand you. Some will disrespect you. Some will test your patience. Life will delay things. Plans will break. Chaos is normal. But your reaction is where your freedom lives. And here's something deeper. Sometimes reacting is really just a need for control. We want people to act right, speak right, treat us right. We want life to go according to our script, but it won't. The more you demand control from the world, the more frustrated you become. The calmer path is learning what belongs to you, your thoughts, your actions, your values, your next step, everything else. Let it move. This is where things change in a big way. The moment you stop trying to control every person and every outcome, your mind becomes lighter, not because life got easier, but because you stopped fighting reality. A lot of pain comes from arguing with what already happened. They shouldn't have said that. This shouldn't be happening. Why did this happen to me? But reality doesn't bend because we dislike it. It only drains us when we resist it. Acceptance is not weakness. It's clarity. It means seeing the moment as it is, without adding extra suffering. And from that calm place, better choices appear. But let's be honest. Sometimes the hardest part isn't the moment, it's the people. Some people know exactly how to get a reaction out of you. They poke, they test, they say just enough to start a fire. And here's the brutal truth. Some people only feel powerful when they can disturb your peace. So when you react wildly, you give them exactly what they wanted. Your mood, your energy, your attention. But when you stay calm, something strange happens. The game ends. Your silence becomes a mirror. Your calm exposes their chaos. That's why not reacting is not passive. It's powerful. It says, you don't get access to my inner world. Short line, big truth. Not everyone deserves your emotional energy. Halfway through life, many people realize something sad. They spent years reacting to people who were never thinking about them that deeply. A random comment, a cold tone, a stranger's opinion, a family member's mood. So much life wasted on carrying things that were never theirs. If this is hitting home right now, good, because This next part may be the shift you need. The goal is not to feel nothing, it's to feel fully without becoming the feeling. Anger can visit, hurt can visit, fear can visit. But they don't get to drive. Imagine your mind like a house. Thoughts knock all day. Some are kind, some are ugly, some are loud. But you decide which ones get a seat at the table. That decision is emotional maturity. A practical way to build this is simple. Name the feeling before you act. I'm angry. I'm embarrassed. I feel ignored. The moment you name it, you create distance. Now, you are the observer, not the emotion. That small habit saves relationships. It saves careers. It saves peace. A husband and wife once had the same fight every month. The same pattern. One sharp comment, a defensive reply, hours of silence, a ruined weekend. One day, instead of reacting, the husband said, "I'm not angry at you, I'm stressed and I'm taking it out the wrong way." That one sentence changed the whole energy. No war, no walls, just honesty. Most people react because they never learned how to understand what they feel. So they throw the feeling at someone else. But awareness breaks the cycle. And here's another truth most people don't realize. Your environment trains your reactions. If your day starts with chaos, bad news, endless scrolling, noise, and pressure, your mind stays on edge. Then the smallest thing feels huge. This is why calm is practiced long before the hard moment arrives. It's built in the morning, in your habits, in your sleep, in the way you speak to yourself. A peaceful mind reacts less because it has less inner pressure. So sometimes the answer isn't better self-control in the moment. Sometimes it's building a life that doesn't keep your nervous system in constant survival mode. Less noise, less drama, less people who love conflict, more space, more silence, more time with your own thoughts. And yes, at first, silence feels uncomfortable because many people use reactions as a way to avoid themselves. They stay busy with fights, opinions, and outside noise so they never have to face what's inside. But here's the truth. When you stop reacting to everything outside, you finally hear what's happening inside. And this is where real healing begins. You start noticing what truly hurts you, what triggers old wounds, what patterns keep repeating, why certain words hit so deeply. That awareness is gold, because now you're no longer just living on autopilot. You're awake. And once you become aware, your peace becomes something you protect, not with walls, but with wisdom. You stop attending every argument you're invited to. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop proving your worth to people who already decided not to see it. That's freedom. The art of not reacting is really the art of self-respect. It's deciding your peace is too valuable to hand out so easily. Will you still mess up sometimes? Of course, you're human. There will be days you snap, days you overthink, days you answer too fast. But progress is not perfection. It's catching yourself sooner, recovering faster, learning deeper. Over time, people will notice something different about you. The same things that used to shake you no longer move you. The same people who once controlled your mood no longer have that access. The same setbacks that once broke your confidence now become lessons. That's growth, quiet growth, the kind that changes your whole life. And one day, you'll face a moment that used to destroy your peace. A rude comment, a delay, a rejection, a tense conversation, and instead of reacting, you'll breathe. You'll stay grounded. You'll choose your energy. In that moment, you'll realize something beautiful. You're no longer a prisoner of every emotion. You're becoming steady, calm, strong, in control. That's real power, not dominance, not noise, not winning arguments, inner control. Because the person who controls their reaction controls their life. So the next time life tests you, remember this. Not everything deserves your voice. Not everything deserves your attention. Not everything deserves a place in your mind. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is remain still. Let the world be loud. You stay clear. Let others rush. You stay grounded. Let the moment pass before you decide what it means. That is strength. That is wisdom. That is peace. And once you learn this art, people may think you've changed. The truth is, you finally stopped letting everything outside of you decide who you are. If this spoke to something real inside you, and you're ready to become calmer, stronger, and more in control, consider subscribing. Your peace is worth protecting. And it starts with the next moment you choose not to react.